We're going to jump into here our FAQs for you, the office manager. We're going to just touch on the most common questions our office receives and how we should answer them. First of all, how much do we charge per hour? We charge by the job, but for small add-ons, we charge $75 an hour plus 5%. So again, we prefer to charge by the job and not by the hour, but sometimes a client will say, can you come out and do this job? And so we'd be figuring, does it take 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours? That's usually how we're trying to price our services. So 75 is like a good, healthy rate to be charging, but that's just like quick and messy. Again, we want to focus by the job. That's why we've got all our set pricing already done, but you might get the odd time people ask per hour, what do we charge? So that's the answer there. Do you have a minimum? So yes, our minimum is 150 plus 5%. This is for the crew to show up and do about 30 minutes of work. So again, that's $75 an hour is what we'll be charging, and that's per guy working. So again, it can kind of collecting easier as well, where we're not having to track hours for the client. With the 150 minimum, there are a few small commercial jobs we have that are less than that, and the reason for that is we will service them like monthly or every 2 weeks, depending on the job. So sometimes you'll see in Jobber there are jobs that are a little bit less than that. But this year we decided 150, just super easy, simple, straightforward, and so we're rocking with that. Are you insured? So yeah, we're fully covered with WorkSafe BC. And also $5 million in third-party liability insurance. So us coming in to do work for the homeowner, there's no liability to the homeowner. So we offer full peace of mind with both of these insurance policies. And the WorkSafe BC covers our employees working at heights and working safely on roofs and using our equipment safely as well. Do I have to be home for the cleaning? So this is a tricky one. Like technically, no, the client does not have to be home for the cleaning. We would ask them to take their window screens out if they're removable from the inside. 90% of the time, I'd say the window screens come off from the inside. We ask homeowners to take them out. The only way they won't need to take them out is if they're like super elderly. We'll help with that. Otherwise, if we're also doing a window clean, like a deluxe window clean where it's in and out we're doing, then we'll remove the screens as well. But yeah, all in the booking confirmation has all these instructions if the client, prior to the client appointment. But we'd ask you move all the vehicles out of your driveway. We'd ask that all the windows are closed tightly. And yeah, I mean, it's just ideal if the client is home because it really builds that human connection. It really ensures that we're on the same page with the client. And what we find is when the client's not home and just the crew goes in, there's like this human element that's lacking, and we largely have more callbacks from jobs that don't have the client home. So we'd say we prefer if they're home. It's good to meet the crew. And then we want to kind of give them like a ballpark of how long the crew will be. So again, just go off that $75 an hour. So the crew should be producing about 150 bucks for every hour that they're on site, ballpark. So you want to tell the client, if they're coming in around 8, they'll be done at about say 12 or 1, and we'll just kind of go from there. Do I get a discount if my neighbor and I both book in? So yes, you'll get 10% off both your jobs. Is it cheaper if I pay cash? So no, we do need to charge 5% as we're registered business in BC. How do you clean exterior windows? So we use our water-fed pole. We use a water purifier with distilled water to leave a streak-free finish on your windows. We'll get into like services later, how we actually perform the service. So again, how do you clean gutters? We typically use our gutter vacuum to clean out your gutters. We do a full flush down your downspouts to make sure that the water is flowing properly. And then do you pressure wash vinyl? So this is a really tricky one that we're going to need to get the words down properly. So technically we do have a pressure washer on site. Having said that, we don't use pressure to do the cleaning. So we use a biodegradable solution and our soft wash system to make sure that vinyl is washed effectively and safely. And so we use our, it's called an X-Jet. And so the biodegradable solution goes on the siding as a nice light rinse. We hand scrub the really dirty areas, and then we do a really light rinse down with our washer. But we tell our clients it's about the strength of a garden hose. So you can put your hand in front of the wand, and that's kind of like the pressure that is going. So it's a very like light rinse more than anything, and not like high pressure. So clients are just concerned if we do use high pressure, you can actually push water up under the vinyl siding, and then you'll get into big water problems. So we work top down, left to right, and we use low pressure cleaning, so like a soft wash system. So just work on your wording with that so that you can fully understand it, so that you can tell clients over the phone how we're doing the cleaning. Couple small charges here. If they want window screens cleaned, we're $5 per screen. And to clean skylights, so these are like windows on the roof, we charge $20 per skylight. The caveat with that is just so long as we have proper access. So that is written up on Jobber in our services and products, but just so you know, to mention that over the phone. Skylights often get forgotten, and so clients will say, do you mind throwing that in or this in? And we'll just say there is an extra charge with that, depending on how many skylights you do have. And our crew will be able to assess when they're on site if there's proper access to do the cleaning properly. So just important that you mention that as well, so that everybody's on the same page. So that's FAQ there. Getting into our follow-up call here. So doing follow-ups after our service, like I said, it's very important. We want to build this business around having a tribe of very happy clients, and so we want to make sure that that follow-up call is done within 24 hours of the cleaning appointment. And it's just very easy what you'll say. Hi, is Mary there? Yeah, Mary, this is Dave with Revive Washing. Just doing a really quick follow-up call. Just making sure that Robert and Conrad did a great job for you the other day. Just wanted to check in and make sure everything went well. You'll get the client response, and then you'll say, great, we'd be really happy to work for you again. Also, if any of your friends or neighbors need washing, if you could refer them to us, we'd really appreciate it. We're a small local business, really helps our, our business grow. And then B, if you just want to check for that online review. So again, if they didn't leave the review, just mention, if you could take 2 minutes and just write us a review online, it would really help our company grow. Positive reviews really help grow our local business. So just work on the wording of getting that down so it's really natural on the phone. And then again, as we talked about, if it's negative, we can get the crew going back, or we can send it to Austin or myself to deal with. So really easy there. After job postcards. So these go out within 1 week of the job being done. So it's your responsibility to get these filled out. We're just hand writing them. You can see how messy my writing is, but gets the point across to our clients front and back, just saying thanks for hiring us and looking forward to working for you again. This is not super relevant right now, but at the end of the year we'll fill out all these postcards for our clients at the end of the year. We might tweak this a little bit, but that's kind of the front of it. Employee referral. So just so you know, we're always looking for more people to join our team. And so we pay out $200 for each person that you refer, so long as they pass probation. So as you continue to grow with our company, you'll see, we need technicians, or we need an office assistant or whatnot. And so whoever you can refer to us, we want to have an incentive for you to refer good people, because what we find is when we hire good people, or A players as we call them, they'll often associate with other good people. And so the best people we hire a lot of times come from having referrals. So Typically, we're short-staffed on technicians during our busy season, so we're always looking for more good people to join our team. Social media scripts we won't worry about too much. We'll work that potentially into your job role, but for now I'll just keep doing them. It's just basically a polite way to respond to leads that come in. Won't need too much training on that, but again, we just want to ask for their basic information so that we can get them an accurate quote. Okay, so here's scheduling rules I'll just touch on here. So once we get the go-ahead for the job, we have a fairly specific process that we want to be following. So first of all, you want to ask the 2/3 they're not. And so if they're typically easygoing, I'm just going to number 3 here. We want to try schedule as far away without losing the job, but also we want to schedule efficiently as far as the routing goes. So we want to make sure that we can keep crews kind of working in similar areas as I've mentioned. So you want to just really look at the schedule and really ask yourself, like, what is going to make sense? Is it going to be best, if they're working, say, in North Langley, to then schedule Willoughby, rather than send them North Langley all the way to South Langley, in late afternoon when there's lots of traffic. So just kind of I'll trust you with that and kind of help you, guide you to get an efficient schedule, but you kind of want to schedule far out, and we do that because we get calls from the third of clients who are very time sensitive, and so we want to leave like small gaps in our schedule so that when people call, we can be like, oh yeah, we can totally get you in Thursday afternoon. How does that work for your schedule? And the scheduling part of this business can really make people quite happy with our service. So we always want to just leave small gaps in our schedule that we can fill in as the demand comes throughout the week. If they're easygoing on timeline, you can always let them know. We'll give them 10% off if they can book in our slower months, which is August and September. And also, as mentioned multiple times, 10% off if their neighbors book in for service. And then little pro tip here on number 5, you want to schedule the largest wash of the day for 8 a.m. So what that means is a lot of our house washing packages range from like $450 upwards of like $700. You want to usually have that one in the morning starting at 8, and then the smaller wash you want to do in the afternoon. And we say like 1 to 3 p.m. for a window. And again, just don't commit like a bang on hour for the client for that afternoon. The morning's fine, like the guys have to be there at 8, they know that, but that afternoon one you want to leave like a little bit more play, and it's just the whole principle of not over promising. We want to under promise and we want to over deliver. So kind of just say it's 1 to 3 p.m. It kind of depends on the morning appointment, but I'll send you out a booking confirmation to just confirm that. And then that usually the smaller job will go in the afternoon. So it's usually like a $500, $600 wash in the morning, and then it's like a $200 to $400 job in the afternoon, and sometimes a third appointment if it's like close by, but otherwise it'll usually be like 2 jobs. So again, depending on the crew, some will be more efficient. You can really fill up their schedule where some might be a little bit slower. And that's what we're working on. Production is getting our rates up, getting our numbers up so that we can get through as much work as possible. Okay, so with scheduling too, we want to talk about the neighborhood codes here. And so I've compiled a list here of neighborhood codes. So I would suggest that you just look at a map, although I'm sure you know the area is pretty good, but here's our neighborhood code. So I've made a few. I'm probably going to make more as well. But, we can see we've got one South Surrey, one for White Rock, one for Clayton Heights, Cloverdale, West Cloverdale, Walnut Grove, Willowbrook, Fort Langley. So we've got a handful of neighborhood codes. We're probably going to even make more as we continue to grow. And then the last one's just out, which means like out of our catchment. So if we're going to like Coquitlam or New West or whatnot. So when we get into jobber, we want to just specify the neighborhood code in each job description, and the format's right here at the top. So we want to say the time, the last name, the neighborhood code. 6 is the total amount of crew hours. So how many hours will the crew be at that job, and then what services are we doing? So um, that's our neighborhood codes there on Jobber.